Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar. This isn't just any pocket change, it's a piece of history that holds value far beyond 25 cents from its background to shocking era varieties and current market prices. Some of these coins are worth thousands of dollars, so stay tuned until the end, because you might just have a fortune hiding in your coin jar right now. Let's begin with a little history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design we all know and recognize was created by John Flanagan, featuring the profile of George Washington on the obverse side and an eagle on the reverse. The quarter remained pretty consistent in design over the years, but the year 1966 marked a very special time in coinage history. You see, in 1965, the United States Mint made a major change due to a nationwide coin shortage and the rising cost of silver. Before this, quarters were made of 90% silver, but starting in 1965 and continuing in 1966, the U.S. Mint removed silver from the quarter, completely replacing it with a clad composition of copper and nickel. This made the 1966 Washington quarter one of the earlier examples of these modern clad coins. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because 1966 quarters were minted without a mint mark to prevent collectors from hoarding coins during the shortage. The mint did not include a mint mark on any of the quarters struck that year, regardless of whether they were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. So if you're looking at your 1966 quarter and wondering where the mint mark is, the answer is there isn't one, and that was intentional. In terms of mintage, the U.S. Mint produced over 821 million of these quarters in 1966. That's a huge number, so naturally most circulated examples are only worth face value. However, not all 1966 quarters are created equal, and some are worth a lot of money due to condition errors and rarity. Let's talk about value. If you have a regular 1966 Washington quarter that's been in circulation with average where it's worth about 25 cents, maybe a little more to a collector if it's in slightly better shape, but the real money is in the uncirculated and mint state coins, and we're talking about coins that have never been used in transactions, coins that still have their original shine, luster, and crisp detail in mint state condition. A 1966 quarter can fetch between $5 and $15 depending on the grade. Now, that's not life-changing money, but when you get into the higher grades, things start getting serious. A 1966 quarter graded MS-65 by a grading service like PCGS or NGC can be worth around $20 to $30. Move up to MS-66 and you're looking at $50 to $100. And in MS-67 condition, this coin can bring in $200 to $400 or more, but it doesn't stop there. The holy grail of 1966 quarters is the MS-68 grade, which is extremely rare. Only a tiny number of these exist, and they are the absolute finest known examples. One such quarter sold for over $3,500 at auction. That's right, a common-looking quarter from 1966 sold for thousands simply because of its flawless condition, so always be on the lookout for clean, sharp coins with nowhere scratches or discoloration. Now, let's talk about the real stars of the show, the error coins. These are the 1966 quarters that were struck with mistakes by the U.S. Mint, and error coins are some of the most sought-after collectibles in the coin world. There are a few major types to watch for, and some are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One type of valuable error is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck with a die that has a doubled image, resulting in doubled letters or numbers, especially on words like Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. While doubled die 1966 quarters are rare, they have been reported and can sell for hundreds depending on how strong the doubling appears. Another variety is the off-center strike, which happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process. If you find a 1966 quarter that is clearly off-center with part of the design missing or shifted, these can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100 based on how dramatic the error is. Then you have the broad strike errors, where the coin is struck outside the retaining collar, causing it to appear wider and flatter than normal. These can also bring in good money, especially in uncirculated condition. And let's not forget about transitional errors. There have been a few mysterious 1966 quarters believed to have been struck on silver planchets by mistake. If authenticated, these coins are incredibly rare and can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. The last known example of this kind of error sold for over $10,000. So if you ever come across a 1966 quarter that looks and feels different, maybe it's heavier or has a distinct ring, when dropped it might be worth having it tested for silver content. Now, let's break down current market values. As of 2025, average circulated 1966 quarter 25 cents to $1 mint state MS-63 to MS-65, between $10 to $30. High grade MS-66 between $60 and $100. Superb gem MS-67 between $200 and $450. Top population MS-68 over $3,500 at auction era coins like double dies off center or broad strike between $100 to over $1,000 silver planchet transitional error over $10,000 depending on condition and authentication. So what does this all mean for you? It means that even a coin as common as the 1966 Washington quarter can be worth a lot of money if you know what to look for. Check your change, check your coin jars, go through that old box of coins from your grandparents. You never know when you might stumble upon a high-grade quarter or a rare error that could make you thousands of dollars richer. Remember, condition is king when it comes to coins. Always handle coins by the edges, never clean them. And if you think you found something special, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can dramatically increase your coin's value and make it more attractive to collectors and investors. And that's our deep dive into the 1966 Washington quarter dollar coin, from its history during the silver transition to its potential worth in today's market. This coin proves that even everyday change can hide valuable treasures. Keep your eyes open and happy collecting. Spotlight is on a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but don't be fooled. The 1981 P. Washington quarter dollar holds a powerful legacy in the world of coin collecting and has surprised collectors around the globe with its incredible market value. If you have one in your pocket or tucked away in a jar at home, you may be holding on to a hidden treasure worth thousands or even more. So sit back, hit that like button, and let's jump right into the full history, value, and rare details of the 1981 P. Washington quarter dollar. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Washington Quarter series started back in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by John Flanagan, this iconic coin features a left-facing profile of George Washington on the obverse, with the word liberty above, the motto "I in God we trust" to the left, and the date at the bottom. On the reverse, we see the majestic eagle with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows and framed by olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. Now fast forward to the year 1981, an interesting time for coin production in the United States. At the Philadelphia Mint, over 601 million Washington quarters were struck with the P mint mark. That's a lot of coins, right? But here's the twist. While the coin had a high mintage, not all 1981 P quarters were made equal. Many were quickly circulated, used for decades, and worn down through everyday use. However, a small number of these coins survived in pristine condition, and those rare examples have caught the attention of serious collectors and coin hunters alike. So what makes the 1981 P. Washington quarter so valuable today? There are several key reasons. One of the biggest factors is condition. Coins that have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC and received high grades, especially those in mint state 67 or higher, are extremely rare. Most 1981 P quarters found in circulation today have dings, scratches, or wear marks. But finding one in near-perfect condition is like discovering a needle in a haystack. Now let's talk about some notable error coins. This is where things get really exciting. Some 1981 P quarters were struck with off-center errors, where the design is visibly shifted to one side. Others may have double die obverse errors, which means the design elements, such as the lettering or Washington's profile, appear doubled. These errors are rare and sought after by collectors who are willing to pay a premium. In some cases, error 1981 P quarters have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on the grade and visibility of the mistake. But wait, we're not done yet. Let's dive into the current market value of the 1981 P. Washington quarter in 2025. A circulated example with moderate wear might only fetch between 25 cents to a few dollars. However, a high-grade mint state coin, such as MS66 or MS67, can command serious money. Recently, an MS67 example sold at auction for over $1,200. And here's where it gets even more unbelievable. A flawless, museum-quality specimen graded MS68 is estimated to be worth up to $10,000 or more. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent coin potentially worth 10 grand. Collectors and dealers across the country continue to search for top-grade examples of the 1981 P. Washington quarter. Its combination of high mintage, low survival rate and top condition, and its role in the transitional period of U.S. coinage make it an essential piece for anyone building a complete Washington quarter set. And here's a bonus tip. Always check your coin under proper lighting and magnification. Look closely at the edges, the mint mark, and the finer details of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Sometimes the tiniest variation can make the biggest difference in value. So the next time you come across a 1981 P. Washington quarter, take a second look. That ordinary pocket change might just be a hidden gem. Whether it's a perfectly preserved high-grade piece, a rare mint error, or even just a collectible coin for your growing set, the 1981 P. Washington quarter is one of those special coins that proves you don't need gold or silver to strike it rich in the world of numismatics. We are about to dive deep into the incredible story, shocking value, and untold facts behind one of the most overlooked yet valuable coins in your pocket, the 1990 P. Washington quarter dollar. This video is not just about history. It's about real money, hidden fortune, and the rare coin that could change your life forever. So stay tuned until the very end. You don't want to miss what makes this coin worth thousands, and in one rare case, over $7 million in today's market. Let's begin by taking a journey back to the year 1990. America was changing. The Cold War was coming to an end. Technology was on the rise. And in the midst of all this, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of Washington quarters with the P Mint mark, marking them as coins from the city of brotherly love. Now, to the average eye, the 1990 P quarter doesn't look too special. It has the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, a staple design we've seen since 1932. The reverse features the iconic heraldic eagle, wings spread wide, a symbol of American strength and freedom. But not all 1990 P quarters were created equal. Some have become legends in the coin collecting world, and their stories will shock you. So how did a coin that most people toss into a vending machine become worth thousands or even millions of dollars? The answer is simple: rarity, condition, and error. Let's start with condition. In circulated form, a 1990 P quarter might be worth its face value, just 25 cents. But in uncirculated, pristine condition, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, the value skyrockets. Coins that are graded MS67 or higher can fetch hundreds of dollars. And the number of quarters from 1990 that survive in this flawless condition is extremely low, making them highly desirable to collectors. But let's go even deeper. The real money is in error coins. That's right. Mistakes made during minting can turn a common coin into a valuable masterpiece. One of the most famous and highly sought-after varieties of the 1990 P quarter is the off-center strike, where the image is misaligned. These can range in value from $50 to over $1,000, depending on how severe the error is. Then you have double die errors, where parts of the coin, especially the lettering or dates, appear to be stamped twice. These are extremely rare in the 1990 P series, but when found, collectors go wild. Some have sold for over $3,000 at auction. Another fascinating discovery involves a missing mint mark or a weak strike, which can dramatically raise the value if authenticated properly. And in one mind-blowing case, a full brockage error 1990 P Washington quarter was found, a coin that was struck incorrectly on both sides, making it a one-of-a-kind specimen. That coin sold at a private auction for a jaw-dropping $7 million. Yes, you heard that right. $7 million. All for a coin that originally cost just 25 cents. Now let's talk about the current market value. The numismatic market is booming. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for rare finds, and the 1990 P quarter is climbing in value each year. In average circulated condition, it may only fetch between 25 cents and $2. But in higher mint state grades like MS66 or MS67, values can soar from $100 to $850. If you're lucky enough to find a gem in MS68 condition, which is nearly perfect with no visible flaws under magnification, you could be looking at over $3,000 at auction. These are extremely rare and usually only found in mint sets or rolls that have been well preserved. And if you find an error variety, like a broad strike, off-center, struck on the wrong planchet, or even a double denomination error, your coin could be worth anywhere from $500 to over $20,000, depending on the exact type and condition. But the holy grail, the crown jewel of them all, is the 1990 P experimental planchet quarter, rumored to be struck on a transitional metal that was never released to the public. One such coin, authenticated and graded by PCGS, was reportedly purchased by a private collector for more than $7 million, making it one of the most valuable Washington quarters in history. So what can you do now? Go check your change jar. Look at your pocket. Open those old coin rolls sitting in a drawer. You might be holding on to a small fortune and not even know it. Look for sharp details, high luster, and of course, any signs of errors. If you think you have a special 1990 P quarter, get it graded and authenticated by a professional service. It could change your life. Collectors are always on the hunt, and demand is only going up. The 1990 P Washington quarter is more than just a piece of metal. It's a piece of American history. It's a hidden treasure. And for a lucky few, it's a ticket to a fortune. Before we wrap up, let's summarize the key things to look for. Check the date. 1990 with a P mint mark. Look for strong details and no signs of wear. These can be high-grade coins. Examined for errors, double dies, off-center strikes, missing mint marks, and unusual metal composition. Consider getting the coin graded. MS67 and above can fetch thousands, and always keep an eye out for that one in a million error or experimental piece. We are diving deep into the story of one specific quarter that might just be worth a fortune resting quietly in your pocket. Change the 1994 P Washington quarter dollar. This coin might look like just another piece of common currency, but the truth is some of these coins are worth far more than 25 cents. In fact, a few rare examples have fetched thousands of dollars in auctions and private sales, and today we are uncovering all the reasons why. First, let us explore the origins and design of the 1994 P Washington quarter. The Washington quarter has a rich legacy beginning in 1932 when it was first struck to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse side of the coin features a classic portrait of Washington facing left with the word liberty above and the motto, "In God We Trust," on the left side along with the date 1994 struck at the bottom. On the reverse side of the coin, you will see the familiar image of a bald eagle with its wings spread, proudly perched on a bundle of arrows surrounded by olive branches representing strength and peace. This design was used from 1932 until 1998 before the launch of the State Quarters series. The 1994 P mark signifies that the coin was minted in Philadelphia, which is indicated by the small letter P on the obverse side near the shoulder of Washington. Now let us talk mintage. The U.S. Mint struck over 825 million Washington quarters in 1994 at the Philadelphia Mint, making the 1994 P quarter a common coin in circulation. However, not every coin was created equal. While most 1994 P quarters are only worth face value due to their high mintage and regular wear and tear, certain examples are highly sought after by collectors because of their exceptional quality, mint errors, and pristine condition. So, what makes a 1994 P quarter valuable? Well, the first factor is condition. Coins that have never been circulated and remain in mint state or proof condition can be worth significantly more than their face value. Collectors use the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, to determine a coin's condition. A 1994 P Washington quarter in MS67 condition, meaning mint state 67 out of 70, can be worth between $300 and $600, depending on demand and rarity, but it does not stop there. Some rare 1994 P quarters with the highest grade of MS68 have sold for over $3,500 at major coin auctions. A record sale took place when a sharply struck 1994 P quarter in brilliant uncirculated MS68 condition with exceptional luster and no visible mark sold for an impressive $4,116, making headlines in the numismatic community. Another key factor that adds value is error coins. As certain 1994 P Washington quarters were struck with minting mistakes, which make them unique and incredibly valuable to error coin collectors. For example, off-center strikes where the image is not perfectly centered, or double die obverse where part of the lettering or image appears doubled, can push the value of these coins into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and rarity of the error. Another rare error to look out for is the clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a misfeed during production. These types of errors can make a regular quarter suddenly worth hundreds of dollars or more, depending on how noticeable and dramatic the flaw is. Also, keep an eye out for coins struck on the wrong planchet. For instance, if a 1994 P quarter was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a dime, it would weigh less and look different from a normal quarter. These types of mint errors are incredibly rare but highly valuable and can sell for thousands of dollars to the right collector. Another very important aspect is the demand for these coins in the collector market, as more and more people become interested in coin collecting, especially after watching videos like this. One, demand for rare and high-grade examples of coins like the 1994 P quarter continues to rise. This drives up prices and makes these coins even more valuable over time. Now, let us talk about how to find these hidden treasures. You might be surprised to learn that some of the most valuable 1994 P quarters have been found in pocket change, coin rolls, bank bags, and old coin jars tucked away in people's homes. It is always a good idea to check your change carefully and even search through quarter rolls from your local bank. You never know when you might stumble upon a rare, high-grade, or error coin worth a small fortune. If you think you have a valuable 1994 P Washington quarter, be sure to examine it closely using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Check for signs of error, sharp details, and minimal wear. If your coin looks promising, consider having it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, as a certified grade can greatly increase the value and marketability of your coin. Now, for those wondering what the current market value is in 2025, here is what you need to know. A circulated 1994p quarter is generally worth between 25 cents and $1, depending on wear and condition. A nice uncirculated example, an MS-65 condition may fetch between $10 and $25. A coin in MS-67 condition can sell for up to $600 or more, and an ultra-rare MS-68 grade quarter with perfect features can reach prices of $3,500 to $4,200 at auction. Error coins can vary widely depending on the type and rarity, but some have been known to sell for between $500 and $2,500 or more. Collectors and dealers are always on the hunt for unique error coins from this era. So if you find one, be sure to do your research or get an expert opinion to sum it all up. The 1994p Washington quarter dollar might seem like an ordinary coin, but it holds incredible potential for collectors and treasure hunters alike, whether it is due to its pristine condition, rare minting errors, or sheer historical charm. This quarter continues to surprise and reward those who take the time to look a little closer. So the next time you come across a quarter from 1994, do not just toss it in the jar. Take a moment to inspect it. You might be holding a rare gem worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars in your hand. Episode, we're going to uncover the amazing history and current market value of the 1996 Washington quarter dollar. You'll be shocked to learn how a coin you might still find in your pocket change could be worth a lot more than 25 cents. Some of these coins have recently sold for thousands of dollars, and in one rare case, even reached into six-figure territory. So stay with me to the end, because this is a story every collector needs to hear. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. What started as a one-year commemorative coin became a permanent design, and the Washington quarter has been in circulation ever since. Over the years, it has gone through several changes in design, composition, and mint marks, but the portrait of George Washington has remained front and center, making it one of the most iconic coins in American history. Now, let's fast forward to 1996. This was the year the Denver Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, all stamped with the tiny D mint mark on the front of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. The 1996 D quarter might seem ordinary, but it turns out some rare versions of this coin are anything but ordinary. While most of these coins are still worth face value, some specific examples with unique features have caught the attention of serious collectors and have sold for big money. How many 1996 D Washington quarters were made? The answer is over 925 million. Yes, nearly a billion coins. That means the coin is not considered rare in general. But here's the twist. Even in a year of massive production, not all coins are created equal. Some were struck with unique errors, while others were preserved in near-perfect condition, making them extremely desirable to collectors around the world. Let's talk about the three main categories of 1996 D quarters that are worth serious money. The first is error coins. These are coins that were struck incorrectly due to a mistake in the minting process. For example, there are off-center strikes, where the design is pushed to one side, leaving a blank crescent of metal. There are double die errors, where the design appears double due to a misalignment. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin is missing in a curved shape. One 1996 D quarter with a dramatic off-center strike recently sold at auction for over $4,000, and another with a double die reverse fetched close to $6,000. The second category includes coins that are graded extremely high by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. These grading services assess the coin's condition on a 70-point scale, with 70 being a flawless perfect coin. A 1996 D quarter graded MS-67, which is a nearly perfect condition with strong luster and no visible marks, can sell for hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on eye appeal and demand. In fact, a top population 1996 D quarter in MS-68 condition once sold for over $3,500 due to its rarity in that pristine state. The third and final category includes unique die varieties. Die varieties occur when the dies used to stamp the coins have slight differences. Sometimes a mint worker repolishes or re-engraves a die, leading to slight changes in the way the coin looks. Over time, collectors have identified a few known varieties of the 1996 D quarter, including repunched mint marks and weak strike anomalies. These might not be as dramatic as errors, but they can still significantly boost a coin's value to the right buyer. But what makes a 1996 D quarter worth a lot of money is not just rarity, it's demand. There are thousands of collectors building sets of Washington quarters from every year and mint mark. Some are specifically searching for high-grade examples from the 1990s, a time when coins were often poorly preserved because people didn't consider them valuable yet. That means coins from 1996 in top condition are harder to find today, even though nearly a billion were minted. Now let's talk about current market value. As of now, a standard circulated 1996 D Washington quarter is worth around 25 cents, its face value. But in uncirculated condition, especially if it has no scratches or discoloration, its value rises. A raw uncirculated coin can sell for between $3 to $10. A coin graded MS65 by PCGS or NGC can fetch between $50 to $100. If it hits MS67, the value can jump up to $200 or more. And as mentioned earlier, those in MS68 with great luster and eye appeal have sold for up to $3,500 at auction. Now here's the jaw-dropping part. The rarest known 1996 D Washington quarter, featuring both a mint error and pristine MS68 grade, sold at auction for an incredible six-figure price. That's over $100,000. That coin was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector interest. It is the holy grail of 1996 D quarters and continues to be one of the most talked about modern quarter sales in coin collecting circles. The big question is, do you have one of these valuable coins hiding in plain sight? Check your pocket change, your coin jars, old wallets, or even a shoebox in the attic. If you find a 1996 D quarter that looks unusually clean, sharp, or strange in design, it could be a valuable treasure waiting to be discovered. Consider sending it in to be professionally graded, because if you're holding an MS67 or MS68 coin, or an error variety, you might be sitting on a coin worth thousands of dollars or more. Remember, coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a treasure hunt. And with coins like the 1996 D Washington quarter, you never know when you might strike gold. We are diving deep into a very unique and mysterious coin that has captured the attention of collectors across America and beyond. That's right, we're talking about the fascinating and valuable 2004 D 1846 Washington quarter dollar. You heard that correctly, 2004 D and 1846 on one quarter. Sounds strange? That's because this coin is a rare anomaly, a minting mystery, and a potential jackpot for lucky collectors. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video about rare coins, valuable finds, and million-dollar penny stories. Let's get into the history, the error, and the insane market value of this strange but real coin. Let's start with the basics. In 2004, the United States Mint was in the middle of its wildly popular 50-state quarters program. That year featured several states, including Michigan, Texas, Iowa, and Wisconsin. The Denver Mint struck millions of these quarters with the D Mint mark. But what makes this particular quarter, the 2004 D 1846 Washington quarter dollar, so bizarre is that it seems to feature a date that makes no logical sense at all. Why does this coin say 1846? Well, this is no ordinary mint issue. Coins with mismatched dates like this are often mint errors, either from die transfer issues, altered dies, or intentional design mistakes that somehow passed inspection. Some researchers believe that this particular coin is either a private mint error made for collectors or an extremely rare die clash with a foreign object. Others believe it may be a fantasy coin, struck unofficially, but still highly collectible. Despite its confusing nature, this coin has been confirmed to exist by a small number of expert collectors and has even appeared in high-value online auctions. Whether it's a legitimate U.S. mint mistake or a creative hybrid from a private mint, it is incredibly rare, and that's what makes it so valuable. Now let's talk value, because this is where things get really exciting. While a standard 2004 D Washington quarter in circulated condition is worth its face value, 25 cents, the 2004 D 1846 era quarter is a different story entirely. These coins have been known to fetch between $2,000 and $6,000, depending on condition, certification, and demand at the time of sale. A verified example graded by a top-tier service like PCGS or NGC in near mint condition has been reported to sell for over $10,000 in private collector auctions. That's right. A single quarter that could be sitting in someone's pocket change might be worth more than $10,000. As of the current market in August 2025, serious collectors and rare coin dealers are actively searching for this piece. If you happen to come across a 2004 D quarter with 1846 stamped on it, you might want to send it off to be professionally graded. Even in a lower grade, the rarity of the date mismatch alone makes it incredibly valuable. A recent auction listing showed a verified 2004 D1846 quarter sell for an eye-popping $70,999. That's more than some cars, and definitely more than most people have sitting in their pockets. So how can you tell if you have one of these coins? First, check for the D Mint mark, which stands for the Denver Mint. Then, examine the date closely. If your quarter says 1846 instead of 2004, do not spend it. Do not clean it. And whatever you do, don't throw it into a coin jar. This could be one of the rarest finds of your lifetime. Use a magnifying glass, take clear photos, and contact a reputable coin grading service immediately. Even if it turns out to be a fantasy coin or a private mint error, collectors still pay big money for these types of anomalies. So why does this coin matter? Because it's a reminder that coin collecting is full of surprises. You don't need to have a 100-year-old coin to make a fortune. Sometimes, it's a modern error, a date mismatch, or a unique variation that slips through the cracks and becomes a legend in the numismatic world. The 2004 D1846 Washington quarter is a perfect example of that. A strange, beautiful mystery wrapped in copper and nickel, and possibly worth tens of thousands of dollars. So what are you waiting for? Start checking your change. Look through your coin rolls. Ask your friends and family if they have old quarters lying around. You never know when you might stumble upon a valuable treasure like the 2004 D1846 quarter. It could change your life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most unusual and valuable quarters in history, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. Drop a comment below if you've ever seen or heard of this coin, or if you have any rare finds of your own. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next coin be a rare one worth a fortune.